5 years later, it is Nirbhaya's story all over again, this time in Bengaluru. A 26-year-old woman, gang-raped, hurled at a wall. The brutes took turns to rape her. They smashed her legs with stones and then left her to die. The brave survivor had to crawl back to safety, left injured, traumatized and naked. The braveheart found asylum near a dustbin, and only 36 hours later was she finally rescued. Her ordeal didn't end there. Over 3 weeks since the horror, the Karnataka police is yet to wake up and take action. 0 arrests have been made in this horrifying case so far. Listen unto the ordeal of the brave survivor.
उस टाइम क्या हुआ था, जब मैं आ रहे थे, काम से आ रहे थे, तो उधर गाड़ी चढ़ाने वाले उधर बैठी हुई थे। तो गाड़ी चढ़ाने वाले मुझे बुलाया कि आकर नहीं इधर बैठ, मुझसे बात करना करके बोल गया। तो थोड़ा देर हम लोग 15 मिनट बात किया। 15 मिनट बात करके वो चली गई जगह वो 2 बाइक आया। तो बाइक में आया 3 लड़का लोग था। तो 3 लड़का लोग बोला कि मेरे को छिपे का काम मिलता है करके। मैं बोला अंदर मिलेगा, मुझे पता नहीं करके। तो मुझे मेरा पेड़ पकड़ लिया, हाथ पकड़ लिया, मेरे को अंदर फेंक दिया, अंदर फेंक दिया। और मेरे 2 लड़कों को मुँह बंद कर दिया, मेरा मुँह बंद कर दिया। और जाके मेरे कपड़ों को फाड़ दिया। मेरे कपड़ों को फाड़ के मेरे को सर में मारा, दो डूंगा से सर में मारा। फिर स्टार्ट किया। 3 लड़का लोग ऐसे किया, 3 लड़का लोग वीडियो बनाया। 3 लड़का लोग मेरे को किया, 3 लड़का लोग वीडियो बना। क्या किया, ऐसा किया। 3 लड़का लोग नहीं किया, 3 लड़का लोग किया, ऐसे किया। फिर उन लोग बैठ के दारू पिया, सिगरेट पिया। उन लोग उधर ही बैठ के 9 बज गया। 9 बज के वो लोग बोला कि टाइम हो गया, मैं जा रहा हूँ करके। इसलिए वो चला गया। वो लोग चला गया तो बोला कि तू अगर मेरे को बाहर मिला तो तेरे को मैं मार डालूंगा, ऐसे बोला। धमकी देके गया है मेरे को से ये धमकी देके गया है।
Shrija, it's a really horrifying story that has come to light, and unfortunately, even as she fights back, nobody else has come to her rescue, especially not the police. Take us through the details.
Well, Tanvi, definitely it is a very disheartening experience altogether what this particular victim has gone through, because remember, she's trying to narrate her entire ordeal where she's saying that she did not even have clothes, where she had to pick up one torn cloth from a dustbin to cover her body is what we're given to understand, and nearly for 36 hours no help was even offered, and it was only a ray of hope came in the form of Geeta Menon is what we're given to understand, and Parajita, who are working for NGOs, where they saw her sitting in this particular dilapidated building is what we are given to understand. And if you really go by the details as far as the rape, this particular horrifying incident is concerned, in fact, she was waiting at this particular bus stop in Arnikal, and it is at that point in time where 6 men on their bikes accosted her and asked her some question, and one of the men in fact flung her into this particular under construction dilapidated building is what we're given to understand, and they raped her. Also, the kind of experience or the ordeal that she was made to go through is very shocking, because she was stones were hurled at her, and even a big boulder was thrown on her head is also what we're given to understand, and she was left to bleed in that particular time, and no help was being offered. Another shocker over here is because she took shelter after that particular incident in that very building, and just a day or 2 days later we also hear that the building owner and 2-3 other workers came and in fact forcefully evicted her from that particular building. Now you must remember that this particular case has 2 separate cases registered. One is especially on the people who forcefully evicted her from that particular incident, and also another rape case has been registered. But unfortunately, unfortunately, there has been no breakthrough, and it's been really a little more than 3 weeks. And all that we see at this point in time, according to the police, is they are still on the lookout for the culprits. But however, they have arrested 3 people in connection with eviction as far as this particular victim is concerned. And now to talk about the treatment, she's of course been admitted to Boring Hospital here in Bengaluru, and she's been taking treatment at a special ward. This is the one-stop crisis center, which is a part of the Nirbhaya scheme. And of course, the shocker here is no compensation has been offered. In fact, it is the Northeast Association, the Solidarity team, where they have adopted her at this point in time.
That point in just a bit. In fact, the point that you raised, let me take it across to Tara Krishnaswamy, an activist on the phone line with us right now. Tara Krishnaswamy, the kind of horror she's gone through, physical pain, mental torture. It's going to take 6 months to a year for at least the physical aspect to only recover. What should be the rehabilitation plan for this gang rape survivor?
I think the first thing that anybody who's gone through trauma beyond the emergency relief, the hospital care, and the proper medical relief that she gets, is to know that the perpetrators are being chased down, ruthlessly apprehended and brought to justice. Nothing is quite, she can never come to grips with something like this until justice is served. So the biggest thing the city can do for her, the government can do for her, the state can do for her, is to make sure the best of law and order is unleashed on the perpetrators and they are brought to book as soon as possible. We need to make an example of this. And that is they say that the biggest trauma victims actually start to heal when they start to feel better mentally, when you cheer them up emotionally. And that kind of emotional healing helps with the physical healing. And for her to emotionally heal, she needs to know that whatever has happened to her is, there will be a price to pay for that, right? That will not go unheeded, that the government will not lie quiet on this. And too many incidents like this are happening in Bangalore. It's a relatively safe city, but for women to feel that way, the government needs to act, and we simply have not seen enough action. They need to make a big example of this incident.
Absolutely, I completely agree with you. But unfortunately, what has happened in this case is that there has been no progress on making any arrests. Thank you for speaking to us. And let me take that point across to Ranjana Kumari as well. Ranjana Kumari, and this is one of the biggest fears in such cases. If there isn't any action, if the culprits are not made to pay for it, then how are we going to stop these cases, and how will the survivor get any closure?
It's way too many times, way too long. It's way too much of political ignorance to these issues. Ignoring these kind of issues that are happening in our country is creating a kind of environment where, one message is very clear that you can get away with that. That means all the criminals who are at large, who are doing this kind of action, are not getting punished quickly, adequately. And that is the reason why such excruciating experience women have to go through. I don't think, these people are listening. The courts are not listening. The police has not been able to make an arrest. That means they are not listening. This is becoming absolute, everyday affair where women are being targeted. They've been brutalized. They have been, they go through this kind of a dehumanizing, inhuman experience, and still no action follows. And whenever even the arrest happens, cases are still pending and lingering on in the courts. So somebody has to wake up to this whole thing. And I think it is women who have to wake up in terms of really going for protesting wherever these cases are, try and find out. We have to, reach out to the courts. We have to now say that women are not willing to tolerate. They are not going to tolerate it. Unless we will do this, it doesn't bother anybody sitting in political power. It doesn't bother sitting in police offices. It doesn't bother the court justices and magistrates that they are not able to process these cases quickly. So this is what a woman's life has reduced to. In Bangalore, way too many cases are getting reported. This is, all major cities are becoming real problem areas for women to live. And these are the areas where women are living, working, going out, and trying to, make a life for themselves. And this is the kind of response that they are getting. I feel that with all your reporting, with all our hard work, with everybody who's in society has to wake up and start saying, putting pressure on every institution which is not delivering. Because I don't think politicians, after taking vote, think about women at all or want to act on these issues at all.
Absolutely, I completely agree with you. And as a society, we need to also start becoming more sensitive to what's happening around us, and in any way that we can help out. This woman, Ranjan Kumari, was lying near a bus stop, and there a tea stall. She had to crawl out semi-naked in that condition, and it was a long time before anybody really came to her rescue. And that by itself is such an painful story to hear. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the big story we're tracking here. We'll keep getting you more reactions on it.